Hi, welcome to this Unreal Engine 5 tutorial. In this video series, we are going to create a drag and drop inventory. In this video, we will create a grid panel that shows our inventory tiles. Let's get started. First, we are going to create a new folder for all our inventory files. Let's rename it to inventory. And inside the inventory folder, we are going to create another folder called images. I've already got 2 images ready to be used in my inventory. You can use any square image for either the tile widget or the inventory widget. You can search the Unreal Engine store or just Google to find a great selection and pick one you like. Let's go back to the inventory file and let's create a new structure, which can be found under blueprints. And rename it to st_inventory. Open the new structure and let's set up the variables. The first one is name, in the form of a text. We need an image, which is a texture 2D. The third one is the quantity. This will be an integer. And the last one is max stack, which is an integer as well. Let's save and close. We need a place to store our inventory data. I'm going to create a new actor component for that. I'm renaming it to comp_inventory. And inside the component, we're going to add a new variable. Rename it to inventory, and it will be our st_inventory structure in the form of an array. To actually test our inventory, we're going to add a for loop, which will run 16 times. So the last index will be 15. We're going to get our inventory array, drag to the right, and search for add. Connect all the nodes. Now we can compile and save and close our component. The next thing we will need is a widget. We're going to rename it to w_inventory, and we're going to need another widget. And this one will be called w_inventory_tile. Let's open the tile widget. First, we will add all the components we need to create our tile. Let's add an overlay. Add a size box. And change the width and height to 150. We're going to add a border. Select the border. And we're going to set our image to our tile image. Let's add an overlay. Set the padding to 10. And let's add another border. We're going to set the alignment to fill. We're going to rename it to image. Check the isVariable box. Now let's add a vertical box. Change the padding of the vertical box to 0. And we're going to add a text to our vertical box. Rename it to text_name. Check the isVariable box. Hit fill, centered. We're going to align it to the top. Change the size to 14 and set an outline of 1. We're going to add another text to our vertical box. Change the name to text underscore quantity. Check the isVariable box. Hit fill. Alignment will be the right and the bottom. The size will be 14. And we're going to add an outline of 1. Let's compile and save and go to the graph. We're going to need 2 variables here. The first one is called inventory, which will be our st underscore inventory structure. And make sure the instance editable and expose and spawn is checked. We're going to add another variable, and this one will be called index. It will be an integer, and make sure it is editable and exposed on spawn. We are going to add a function, which is called setTile. And from the event construct, we are going to run our setTile function. Let's go back to the function. We are going to add a branch, get our inventory, right click, split. From the quantity, hit is, and connect it to the branch. We're going to get our text name, search for set text, connect it to the true output. We're going to get our image and search for set brush color. And we're going to set the alpha to 0. We're going to get our text quantity, search for set text. We're going to copy and paste our first set text nodes and connect it to the false output. Now from name, drag to in-text. We're going to get our image. I'm going to search for set brush from texture. Connect the texture to our image. We're going to copy and paste our text quantity node. And from the in-text, we're going to connect it to our quantity. And we can compile, save. Let's open our inventory widget. The first thing we will need is a canvas panel. We're going to need a size box. We're going to align it to the center. So anchor will be centered. The alignment will be 0.5 and 0.5. Positions will be 0. And make sure size to content is yes. Our width and height will be 750. We're going to add a border to our size box. And this will be our inventory image. We're going to add an overlay. Make sure the padding is around 5. And we are going to add a grid panel. Make sure the grid panel is centered. We're going to remove the underscore 71 and make sure the is variable is checked. Compile and save, and let's go to the graph. You can delete the pre-construct and the tick, we won't need them. We're going to add a variable, which is called inventory, and this will be our st underscore inventory structure in the form of an array. From the event construct node, drag to the right and search for cast to bp underscore third person character. We're gonna get our player character. We're gonna get component by class. Choose the top one. We're gonna select our inventory component. And right click on the return value and promote to variable. We're gonna rename it to inventory ref. And let's connect these two nodes. We're gonna create a function. We're gonna name our function setGrid. I'm gonna connect it to the inventory ref, and let's open our setGrid function. Get our inventory ref, drag to the right, type in get inventory, drag our inventory, hit set, and connect these two nodes. We're gonna get our grid panel and search for clear children. We're gonna get our inventory array. We're gonna do a for each loop. Right click the array index, promote to local variable, and rename it to index. Search for create widget, and this will be our tile widget. We're going to connect the index to the index and our inventory to the array element. We're going to get our grid panel, add child to grid. The content will be the return value of the widget node. We're going to get our index, divide by 4, and connect it to the row. We're going to copy and paste our index, and we need the percentage, and that will be 4 as well. This means our inventory will have rows of 4. If you want to make them bigger or smaller, you can go 2, 3, or whatever you want. Let's compile and save. Now everything in our widgets is done. What we're going to do now is add our component to our character blueprint. So search your third person character blueprint, hit add, search for our inventory component and add it. Compile and save. Now to actually test our inventory, we are going to open our component, and from the complete node, we're going to search for create widget, search for the inventory widget, and add to viewport. Let's compile and save, and let's start the game. Now this is our inventory. Everything works perfectly. If you want the padding between each tile a little bit bigger, you can open your tile, go to the first border, and just change the padding to 5 or 10. Now you can see the padding between each tile is much bigger. That's all for part 1. Thank you for watching. It would mean a lot to me if you would like this video and subscribe to my channel, and I will see you next time for part 2.